Hey, this is Edwina Wilson, the CEO and founder of Kelly's Choice and the host of Kelly's Choice Radio Talk Show. You know us, the faith talk, inspiration, educating the community, bringing awareness to the community. We love to inspire, uplift, and motivate. Today, I am live here in Washington, D.C. at a Christmas Extravaganza for those with different abilities. And we have with us today Tai Campbell, and he's going to share a little bit first about his organization, and then he's going to bring awareness and talk a little bit about what happened to him and the condition that you had at one point.
Yes, ma'am.
And how he's bringing awareness to anyone that experienced that. And I'm going to let him tell you that. I know y'all probably wonder, what am I talking about? So, Tai, tell us about your organization. Well, first, tell us what brought you here today.
Okay, what brought me here today was a young man named Eric. He has special needs as well, and he's autistic, and he just had a heart surgery, and he's a part of my organization where we're doing programming for kids with performing arts, and we're helping them, you know, tap into their abilities that's inside of them. So that's pretty much what we do, what brought me here.
That's what brought you here. Now tell us the name of your organization and what inspired you to start this organization.
Okay. The name of my organization is Taking Back Our Community. It's TAKEN because it's already done. Like we kind of, it's like past tense. We're thinking it's already done. We already took it back. You know, we're in the process of doing it. Some people, they do the TAKING, and that's just trying. We're not trying. We already we took it already. So that's the name of my organization. How I started the organization was through my brain injury, my own personal challenges and, you know, situation that had to happen to me. Well, what happened was, let me just get to the nitty gritty. I had a nail stuck in my head when I was 8 years old, and from a fall, and I fell back off of like a 5-foot high building, and I fell directly onto a nail, and the nail went all the way, it penetrated, it's called the open head injury, and it penetrated all the way down, and I jolted my head forward. That's how I got it out. So yeah, so they rushed me to the hospital, and the doctor tried to clean it out, put his finger in my head and everything, trying to clean it, and he didn't do too good. Okay. So 6 months later, I had a infection going through my brain, enraging infection in my spine. So I had headaches. I had I had like some scabs popping up on my head. And I would run and tell my mother that something wasn't right, and they had to rush me back to the hospital. So they told me that they could probably save my life. It would have a 50-50 chance of living, and at this point, my brain was swelling. They had to do 5 craniectomies, which, if you can see the spots, 1, 2, 3, and they did some surgery on me, and they took my bone flaps, parts of my skull off, and put them in the freezer, and let my head just be open so it can give me more time to my brain to go down. And so they
8 years old.
Yeah, 8 years old. Yeah, 8 years old. So I pulled through that. They saved my life. Okay. But I went 30 years without knowing the effects of it that it had on me. And you know, people would just say that Tai is just Tai, you know, and they had a lot of names for me. Can't Get Right, Ilzak, all kind of stuff that like would say that this person is not right in society. They made these names up for me, and I even made some names up for myself because I felt like I couldn't get right.
Oh, wow. Was this still at your young age, or is this as you got older when all of those names started coming about?
I just found out when I was 40. I'm 45 now. Wow. So I had 5 years of actually knowing and being aware of, you know, I have impulsive behavior, I have cognitive thinking issues. I didn't graduate past the 8th grade. I had behavior issues where I would get in fights and trouble, anger issues, and I didn't know how to control these things until I was 45. you know, I still was going through some things. I learned how to, I learned how to navigate through life by these three combinations of things. And it was chess, music, and boxing. The game of chess, music, and boxing. Those combination of three, I use them as tools to get through and navigate through life. And that's when I started my organization. And said, if this could help me, it could help anybody. You know, yep.
So, being as though this the condition, and you all not knowing what caused it, that's why all of those behavior problems was coming about. So it was really triggering, you know, all of that. Yeah.
It was a lot of triggers, and some stuff is impulsive, where I would do stuff just not thinking about it. I wouldn't hardly even have control over it. I would just, excuse me, a voice would come to me, or energy would take over me, and I would just do it, you know, and I wouldn't even think about it until after the fact, and, you know, a lot of stuff. So I wanted, you know, of course, God is the way that I got through, number one. That's right, and God pulled me through, and I saw a light when I actually was in the hospital. That when I was little, I saw a light, and it kind of told me that everything was going to be all right. And I remembered that light, and that's what always kept me still in spirit, because it was just very difficult to live for 35 years without knowing anything.
So that's a very long time of experiencing something so tragic, basically, because it was basically, what's the word I'm looking for? God, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but it was allowing, without you realizing, it was allowing you to have all of these behaviors and just acting out and all of that. Isn't it amazing how you never know what one condition can do? You know, it like cerebral palsy, you know, like my daughter has cerebral palsy, but there's all different forms and types of cerebral palsy. Some is really physically bad. Some is not. Some people can talk. Some is verbal, nonverbal. I mean, it's just so many forms. So with this, now, I'm sure within your organization, you're bringing awareness and you're trying to reach out to individuals that has experienced that. How are you bringing, or how are you finding these people so you can help them out and, you know, bring awareness to them? Yeah.
Well, excuse me. It's a lot of people that are, it's easy to find them because, you know, it's just that, will people admit to themselves that they're going through this? You know, brain injury you can't see. That's the only thing. It's an invisible situation, and I you know, it hurts me every time that I try to explain to somebody what I'm going through, because they forget right about it. Right after you talk to them, if they get in an argument with you, they're gonna bring it up. If I bring it up, they already, oh, here you go with that brain injury stuff again, and it's like, you know, what are you expecting me to do? You know, it's like if there's a cause, there's an effect. You know, but the main thing is this family support. I wasn't fortunate to have any family support, even till this day. You know, my mother and them saw me go through the nail. They saw me go through. My father, unfortunately, my mother and father don't support me with this. You know, and it's my brothers and sisters, they don't support me. Just one of my brothers, only because they wanted me to be all right. They wanted me to be all right. Way back then, they said, you okay, you all right. And every time I try to say, listen, I'm not all right, they would say, yes, you are all right. And then I would just believe them. And then I would just keep going. But I would end up in jail or end up going in circles. You know what I mean? And then they would say, well, you just don't care. Or you just don't, you know, it's you. You just don't, well, it's not me. I would take responsibility for something that, you know, I can control half the time. Or I was taught to do different, you know, but I never was taught. I'll slip through the cracks. But through, you know, through education, through finances, through support with family, I fell through the cracks, you know, all these years. But I'm thankful that I'm here and I'm existing. God has given me a chance to spread my message and be an advocate for people with brain injuries. But it's so easy to find brain injury people because football players got brain injuries, boxers, people that had concussions. Mostly anybody that had a concussion more than likely had a mild traumatic brain injury. But if you have multiple concussions, then it gets more severe, and it can affect you later on in life too, like it's doing me.
So within your organization, what are you bringing to the community within what you're doing? Because I saw today you have the young children out there, and it was phenomenal, and the dancing, and I like the bullying thing because that's so important right now, you know, because it's so worldwide, and nobody is excluded from being bullied. So I like that. Did you write that?
Yes, yes, I did. My daughter wrote some of it as well too.
This your daughter right here?
One of the little ones in the program. But my daughter, her name is Isha. That's who I named the program after. It's called Isha's World, and she wrote like about 8 lines of it. And I try to encourage her to write, all the kids to write. I try to encourage them, but what I'll do is set the basic format, and then I'll let them add their little flavors to it.
Yeah, I saw your energy out there too, dancing behind her. You know, you would have thought you was a part of that event too, because I mean, in the background, you was going, you know. But that was good though, because you felt it, and it's like every time you hear them and see them perform, it's like your energy just pumps up. And you know what? I believe that's because of where you've been and where you come from. And you know, to God be the glory that you lived through this. It may have affected you in so many different ways, but you're here to share your story, educate other people, bring awareness, and help everybody with the children and the group that you have. Well, thank you so much. Can you tell people how you can be reached and how they can find you?
You can find me on at TBOC Now on Instagram. You can also find me on our website, www.tbocnow.org, and that's a nonprofit taking back our community. We do a lot of work in the community with the DC Police Department, with the Montgomery County Police Department. We in your school systems. We all over the place. Be looking out for Barbershop Chess League. You know, this initiative is bringing barbershops together in fours, and making sure that we build better community through these barbershop chess leagues and doing activities with people in our community.
Well, there you go. Tai Campbell. Hey, I'm telling you, y'all see it. Follow our YouTube channel. It's going to be on there. Kelly's Choice, Inc. And that's our YouTube channel. We'll probably have it up sometime by next week. We're just enjoying the weekend right now. Well, y'all be blessed. Smile for someone every day. You just never know who you may bless. I am Edwina Wilson, the CEO and founder of Kelly's Choice and the host of Kelly's Choice Radio Show. Take care. Bye-bye.
You know it.